My smoothie, which I forgot to go get. I'm gonna go out and get it real quick. I'm gonna go get probably Thai food. I'll try not to. I'll try my best. Hello, everyone. Sorry. My hands are really sticky. Hold on a sec. Okay, here we go. Hey, everyone. So sorry, I had to return like a smoothie because I picked it up and it was like water. Hey, Eric, Zach, and Simon. All right, so it says 2 on my end. So usually I wait a few minutes before I actually go out and do What?
You almost ran over me.
I didn't see you guys, but I didn't run over you. You guys weren't behind us. Me.
My toe, right here.
No, you put your feet under the car? Try not to put your feet under cars in the future. Kids think they're real smart sometimes. Potted up a bunch of I didn't see the new one. I've been watching a few of them though. I'll have to check it out for sure. I think that, oh, you're asking Simon. So I've got to return, of all things, a smoothie. I don't even know if like they give me another one. I don't even really want another one because like then you got to drink it, and I don't want one right now. So I'm just gonna see what happens. I really just want a voucher for another smoothie. Oh. What I found, because I have like 80 subscriptions. I subscribe to all sorts of channels. I subscribe to like a lot of poker, there's a lot of poker vloggers out there, guys that talk about their travels, their trips, talk about hands, what happened. And I find the best ones, the ones that just analyze hands, like they're good for education, but they don't have like that interesting factor. Like one of my favorite guys And you guys might find him funny because it's actually, I mean, you don't even have to like poker because a lot of it's just gambling, like going to slots and playing craps and roulette. But his name is Ryan DePaulo, Degenerate Gambler. And he's out of New York, but he mostly goes to Atlantic City and Connecticut and Pennsylvania to play like video poker. And it's just generally like it's well done, and he's very authentic and has a good sense of humor. But then there's other poker vlogs where they're literally just like, we're gonna analyze some hands that I played, and it's just a video with, you know, what he did, and that's it. But I mean, I don't know where mine. Yeah, you know, like if you see like a lot of what I've started doing, and if you guys tell me if you think this is a good idea or not, but I ooh, Dodge Avenger, one of the worst vehicles ever made. No offense to anyone that owns one, but they've never been reliable, and they've always been boring and underpowered. But they've tried. See, the thing is, some cars are just boring and underpowered because they're just A to B vehicles. That vehicle tried to be cool. So, uh-oh. What happened? Did the stream go out? Please tell me the stream didn't go out. Can anyone? If the stream ever goes out, just let me know, because I'd like to know if. Alright. Hopefully this isn't going to be like too difficult. This white Dodge Ram always is here, but then again, so am I, so. Alright, if it ever goes out, just say like, you know, let me know like, hey, stream is down or something like that. Alright. I don't know why that was. Can you guys hear what I say if I put you in my pocket? Are you guys able to hear me? Alright, I'll be right back. It's probably YouTube. Oh, this is all sticky. That was easy. They're just like, yeah, we'll make you another one. And I was like, I don't really. Okay. Yeah, that would actually be really cool, Zach. You know, in the long term, Simon has a great idea. I gotta still wash my hands. Freaking orange juice all over me. So I gotta figure out what I'm doing for dinner. Percent battery do I have? 64%. Alright. I'm just gonna let it run without the charger. I don't know where is he putting that in the trunk of his car? Oh, don't do that. Okay, good. He's gotta walk all the way over there. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm just gonna get some Thai food. Maybe I'll try something different. Maybe I won't. Hey, Chris. I really just want to get out of the house. Hopefully Ashley isn't watching, but it's been really boring. I've been doing mostly like writing the kind of computer stuff that's boring, but it just has to be done when you're kind of doing business stuff. I found my old tripod and I got a new tripod in today. Of course, it happens. You get the new one. But it's actually pretty cool. It's definitely much nicer than my old one. My old one is on the nightcap. Nice. It's the website is doing pretty well. Shiv is working on it, and Market Q, as you guys know, and he's always asking questions like, "What do you want to do with this and that?" And so he's been very good about like accommodating what I need. Come on, let's make this like one time. Oh boy, before I rear end somebody. I didn't realize this many people were in the line. I was gonna call him up, but I don't want to kill the stream, so I'm just gonna go there and order and just hang out. Just get out of the house a little bit. Next week it's going to be a little bit chilly here. I probably won't because Ashley specifically said don't flirt with that girl because somehow she thinks that I'm flirting with her. But she was just out there because it was like closing time, so. Wow, that's bad. Yeah, I feel like this is the last time we're gonna get. I know there's gonna be rain this time, but we're gonna get let's see. We are getting. Hey, sorry, I'm trying to figure out whether I could turn or not. It's gonna be probably like one day is gonna be high in the 60s, with a low in the mid to upper 40s, and then a couple days with like high in the low 70s and low in the low to mid 50s. I know that's like not a big deal to you guys, and that's way warmer than most places up north, but it's annoying when you're trying to like I pot up a bunch of seedlings and they can handle 45, 46, but I can slow them down. So 48. It's funny because it looks like I'm driving through like a country area when I'm driving down this road. It just hasn't been that developed, I guess. wondering what was going on there. I'm kind of just trying to figure out what sometimes it's hard for me to determine what food I want and like what food I want. I almost want to go get a fucking salad. Can't do it. Man, I just wish Ashley was a better cook. I wish I was a better cook. I mean, we still do cook, but we just like I need instructions. Oh yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I didn't know that they had that now. Personally, I think they should focus more on customer business with Toby. I'm just surprised I haven't gotten. And there are some pretty important emails I sent him, like not issues with his seeds, and he still doesn't get back to me. I don't know why. Oh no, no. It's Thursday night. It's church time in the strip mall. Stream's frozen. Was frozen. Okay. No. All my parking is gone because the strip mall church is in session. And this place looks pretty freaking busy too. Oh, it's not that bad. Okay. What I'll have to do is I'll just have to park over here. Alright, I'm gonna go in there and order. It's gonna be too busy for you guys to be able to hear anything anyway. So I'm gonna turn the car off and I'll be back out in a couple minutes, okay? Sorry, it's gonna take them at least 10 minutes to. I'll tell you guys some palm stories while we wait when I come back. All right. Probably be about 10 minutes. They're still a little bit busy. Hello, everyone. Excuse me. Okay. Hey, Simon, I joined the European Palm Society. I used to be a member of it, like, back before there was any Facebook group. So, what you're looking at over on the other side is actually a there's a boat dealership and a strip mall that's all closed, I guess, right now. So let me see if I can't write this a little bit. There we go. Do you guys want to hear a story of my travels in the palm world? That's when those trucks try and tow the jack trucks try and tow trailers. They're always dragging, especially a dual axle. Nah. I potted up 50 Alfredii today. Yeah, I figured you were. I know you're kidding. Australians, and if I could just hang out with like a few guys from Australia, a few guys from Britain and Ireland, then I would never have to go back to my house ever again. Would never want to leave. Um, I don't know what do you got? What part of what? There's so much I could tell you guys. I'm trying to think what you guys would want to hear as far as like what topic, like interactions with. Nice. Yeah, man, I'll give you something for those. I'll trade you some plants. What plants? I don't have any leucothrinax, so um, I'm just trying to think of a good story. Uh-oh. This is a, I don't know what else to tell him. A man Andrensis story, Greece. Okay, I'll tell you guys a story about Marty Darian, and I didn't mention his name before, but he's no longer with us. But he is the veterinarian that was yeah, or I don't know who you're talking to me. Anyway, he's a veterinarian that went to Madagascar in the 70s, had some plants named after him. He collected a lot of stuff. He cut down a lot of palms, and he kind of really like put a scar on. I mean, not like personally, but a lot of people. He's a very controversial character, and he he thought very highly of himself, and people in California tend to also think highly of him. However, people in Florida um, don't think so highly of him. So, sorry, I'm getting these messages. Yeah, grease and palms. So one time, the South Florida Palm Society was, talking to vendors, asking vendors, if they wanted to come, they wanted to be a part of the Fairchild sale, which is every spring. It's every spring. It's every fall. Montgomery's in the spring, and he called up the president of the South Florida Palm Society. This is like late 90s, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd like to be a vendor." And they're like, "Sure, come on down." He's like, "Well, you know what? I'll come down if you guys want to pay for my flight and my hotel. Then I will give the opportunity to buy my palms." And everyone's like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, we're a nonprofit. We're not going to spend like 2 grand so you can be here. We're not wanting you that bad, and we're gonna lose money on that." And he just like he thought that that was ridiculous, and so it isn't even the best Marty Darian story, but oh, this guy's about to back right into my truck. Yeah, there are palms that'll die at 45. Lipstick, especially smaller ones, will die at 45. Um, a lot of the Areca species genus, not Areca palms like the ones you guys know. I mean, as like the common one. Um, Phoenicoforium, some of the ones from the Seychelles Islands. Jesus. Okay. It does. Hold on. Sorry. God, I'm getting mobbed here. Uh, Euterpe oleracea does not die at 45. It's pretty hardy. I've seen it go down to 35 without any damage. So, um, God damn. Sorry. I'm getting messages from about next week for Miami. So no, not. Oh, there's some palms that'll die at 40. Most notably, lipstick palms will die at 40. Like Areca Guppiana won't. There's a couple other Areca species. Phoenicoforium, Verschaffeltia. A lot of the stilt root palms don't do well because when their roots are out, it's almost like they're almost bare roots. They have to constantly have water and warm weather. So I've seen some with a Verschaffeltia growing out on Pine Island where I went yesterday, but it didn't look like how they look in Hawaii or in habitat. Yeah, Dan, you guys don't get. I mean, the lowest you guys really get is what, 50 or so there. Do you even get that low? The hard part will keeping the humidity up. I would just place it in a pot of water and just let them sit there. All right, at the 31-minute mark, I'm going to go to pick up the food. Um, Chris, if you can protect it, like put it in a protected area, it might survive there. I mean, I had one in Venice for 6 years before it died in that freak cold in 2010. It probably would still have been there too, but they need a lot. They need a lot of water, constant humidity. They really need like to be in sort of like a canopied rainforest style area. If you're any further north, I'd tell you no. Uh, Zach, as far as like weird palm shapes, yes, there are some entire leafed palms that are actually pinnate. They're classified as pinnate, but they look palmate because they're entire leaf. So I'm trying to think of like a good example. Uh, so like for I don't know if you're familiar with the Joey palm, but it's a long entire leaf plant. But it's actually palmate, even though it has long lanceolate leaves that almost, if they separated, would look pinnate, but the midribs go out as a strap leaf. They don't cross. Like they could never separate. Now there's some other entire leaf plants, for example, um, like the Seychelles stiltroot palm, Verschaffeltia, and it has mostly entire leaves, but they separate a little bit. But it looks like it could be like almost a palmate palm, and so it can be kind of difficult at times to determine something is palmate or pinnate. But the thing that you can tell is no truly crown shafted palm is ever palmate. So um, there are a couple that look like they're crown shafted, but they're not. There's a couple Amazonian ones. Jacob, that's not that I want to say that plant is probably a hybrid of Hospita and Bailey. It's called X textilis. I have to take a look at it. I think I've only seen it in the dark, which is weird because usually I don't drive down that area in the dark. But I saw it one time and it stood out. So I can see a leaf. I'll go by and like I'll see that leaf and I'll just be like, oh, that's definitely not normal. Anyway, let me go. Let me get the food real quick and I'll get right back with you guys. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot you asked that, Zach. I'll answer that in a second. All right. I have my food, and I park as far as I possibly can, so that someone who parks next to me won't get close to my car. And yet, some small Nissan Sentra manages to get like he parks like diagonally in a space, and the back area is like enough so that I can't. Anyway, you guys don't really care about that. Yeah, I've driven there in the dark because I would come through in the evenings, and that's the best way for me to get to my ex-girlfriend's place. If I was in like Pine Island and trying to go to her place. So I'm trying to remember what palm this is because I can't go and look at it now because it'll kill the stream. I'm trying to think of when I did the oil, African oil. I'm just trying to think which palm was there. I mean, I know which vlog it is, but I'm trying to figure out what like, can you guys describe the palm? How big it was? Did it have big fronds, small ones? I'm just trying to think. I have to look at it and then get back to you guys. I think that palm is interesting. I'm just trying to think which palm it is. It's nothing Caribbean. Maybe. No, there's no Caribbean palms there. It says do not enter, but you know what? This is the only exit. They don't give me another option. I'm not going to go back all the way. They could die in a fire. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the palm. Oh, the Elias is. There's a lot of Latin names that aren't pronounced correctly, and I don't expect anyone to have like perfect Latin pronunciation. Some people that I talk to that consider themselves palm experts, and I consider them to be pretty knowledgeable, have some pretty terrible Latin pronunciations, and I think that they should work on that. I think if you're going to present yourself as a professional, you should know the Latin names of the plants that you're growing. So, but I can't remember which palm it is, but if I go to the vlog, I can definitely answer that, like in the comments if you want. How would you? Oh, he's Dave in Vero Beach. Okay, I've met Dave. I knew that he was. Okay. Dave's a really cool guy, actually. That makes sense. I knew that I knew the guy somewhere because he was. God, I have some real sick friends. Yeah, Dave and Vero. I remember I met him at a Central Florida Palm meeting. I think it was either in Melbourne or it was in Tampa, but I think it's probably in Melbourne. It might have been. I met him in Jacksonville too. He's like, I don't blame you. I don't think that. I think that it's important that you do what you think is right and make your own judgments. Judge, make your own. What am I trying? What am I trying to say here? Uh, you know, Determine what you think is right and wrong based on your life experiences. I found that that's actually pretty useful. You'll find in a world that if you always try and be honest and straightforward with people, even if they don't want to hear it, in the end they'll thank you for it because they're never going to think less of you. So, if you tell someone like, you don't have to give someone your opinion all the time, but if someone asks your honest opinion, just give it to them. I do it to Ashley all the time. She gets real pissed, but at least she knows I'm going to be honest with her. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. Beetle nut. What? What about it? Those probably would grow if you had good water source there. I'm guessing by the coast it's a little bit easier to, the temps are a little bit better, and then the interior is a little bit more desert. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you guys my experience. When I was 15, I got in a little bit of trouble. I was kind of given a slap on the wrist, and I never had an issue again. I didn't go to jail or anything, but it's a long story. Something that I'd rather not have, on. No, I actually was not high at the time. My friend had it on him, and we all got in trouble because of it. So, but 20 years ago, it was considered something that people would, tell their kids never to get involved with, and at the time it really was not understood. And over high school and college, yes, did I smoke? Yeah, I did, in college especially. And then I just decided one day I was like, I just don't really want to smoke anymore. But then when I was having anxiety issues, I found that certain strains were really helpful. And I had every other person that talked about plants with me is like, oh, you should grow it. I'm like, yeah, but that's, right now it's a felony, over any certain number of plants. But Florida passed their medical marijuana in 2016. It went into effect 2 years ago. And I found that you'll find that people who just smoke, or vape THC or smoke marijuana. I don't want to be too opinionated or political, but this is my experience. You never hear about someone oh, they smoked a bunch of weed and then they decided to go rob a place. That doesn't happen. Usually, it's a a mellowing drug. It's more of a relaxed thing. I mean, can it make people lazy? Yeah, it can. But I mean, and there's sometimes in the past where I've just hey, you know what? I got to pot up 200 plants and I don't really want to do it. Maybe I'll feel better if I have a vape pen. I don't use it a ton, but it's great for sleep too. Because I get kind of OCD about making sure the house is locked up or the water's not running or fire. I get it from my grandfather, my mother's father, and So I mean, and in Florida, it's legal if you have, if you have a medical card. I know in places like Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, the most of the Bible Belt, it's not accepted and it's considered, a criminal thing. And that's why we have different states, different policies. Florida's kind of a free for all, and that's part of what I love about Florida. Here, I'll keep that on so you guys can see something. I gotta get, I gotta cancel my appointment. I gotta get an oil change. I gotta get the computer reprogramming this thing, and I have to get the air conditioning thing fixed. So, um, yeah, but tobacco causes cancer and other bad things. Chris, that's see, I couldn't do that because I was too goofy. But I mean, I think I could do it now. Anyway, Daniel, so he's doing a lot of work on it. I know that it's not like ready. I don't have a domain. I mean, I just need to get it. It should be functional, I'd say within like 3 to 4 weeks. So I got to type in a lot of parameters. So hey James. The more stupid. No, I never find your comments stupid. Um, I find that I I've never been able to like drink a Brit under the table or an Australian. I've drank many an American under the table, but yeah, Zach, I know they gave those rations out, but the nicotine itself is actually and I still vape nicotine. So like I mean, nicotine can hurt your arteries. It can harden your arteries. I need to stop vaping because that's like the one downside of vaping is the nicotine effect. Even though there's no carbon monoxide, there are. I mean, like, there are technically people smoke tobacco for a reason because there were some beneficial things like it relieves constipation. The thing is it can relieve anxiety, but at the same time, it raises your blood pressure and your heartbeat, so it can also cause anxiety while it's relieving other anxiety. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give like medical advice. Just my experience from it. When I played poker, because it's a higher stress situation, you can really like I found myself like smoking these like the small 72 Marlboros uh every dealer down, which is 30 minutes, and it's like a 4 or 5 hitter cigarette, but I was going through like a pack and a half of them, and that's like $7 or $8 here in Florida, and that's just that becomes an expensive habit. I mean, and also you do other things like it takes away from your day. You can't smoke a cigarette like at work. You got to go somewhere to do it, and I wouldn't like ever say like I wouldn't on the stream like tell someone your age that cigarettes are good because they're not. So anyway, um, yeah, James, sorry if I didn't say hi. They do sell Viet Tran. Yeah, pure tobacco, although it's healthier for you than like obviously chemically modified tobacco, it still is not like American Spirit cigarettes. Like our America in the U.S., we have these cigarettes that are supposed to be like no added chemicals. So hey, Gus, what's going on? LBC is in this mother. Whenever I watch a lot of Hell's Kitchen, which takes place in I think it's Culver City, and I see sometimes they'll go out to Long Beach or they'll go out to like Rancho or Palos Verdes and or Redondo Beach, and I always think like, yeah, Gus doesn't live too far from there. So, but yeah, you guys kind of caught me at the end here. No, and that's true of Vietran. They're not. I mean, there are people I've had relatives that have smoked into the day they died, and they were in their early 90s. I've seen people who didn't smoke and got lung cancer from secondhand smoke, and I think it's mostly genetic. I mean, I hope that I did catch some of my family's genetics regarding smoking because I did smoke for 7 or 8 years. Um, I don't know, Zach. I'm not. I don't really. Nice. Yeah, foxtails are pretty fast to sprout. If you give them heat, a paper towel, they'll germinate in a paper towel. A lot of seeds won't. They know they want to be. They're more picky and stuff. But um, yeah, so I'm gonna end this at 50 minutes because I do have food here that is brisket and ribs. Yeah, that sounds good. I wish I had a smoker. I should get one. They're not that expensive. But I really don't know what I'm doing. So then again, I don't want to like eat raw meat. So oh, you do Viet Tran. Where are you from? If you don't mind me, are you in the U.S.? Or are you in Vietnam? Because your name would make me think you're in Vietnam. I mean, just if I had to guess, you're in Winston Salem. I went to college and for a little while and at Wake Forest. So yeah, I'm guessing you work for R.J. Reynolds. I'm not gonna. You don't have to say yes or no, but I'm guessing you work somewhere in that industry. So yeah. Oh, I'm very familiar with Winston Salem because I lived there for a year. I went to Wake Forest for a while, then I transferred, and I grew up in Richmond, Virginia, which is Philip Morris, territory. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, it's not our business what you do for a living, but I'm just letting you know that I know that sort of that how things work in North Carolina and Virginia, how tobacco is viewed. One of my friends, good friends, psych ed friends, is from Rocky Mount, and his family grew tobacco, and he feels like his family was like ruined by it or something, But you watch YouTube for a living. I do too, actually. I don't want to close it just yet, but um, I don't if I stream later on, guys, is it better like if I stream at say let's see what is it 7:45 Eastern? If I stream is it I don't let me see what time it is. Yeah, exactly. Man, I'm good with time. If I stream at like, you know, 10 o'clock or something like that, what your boss doesn't know is, better you're better off him not knowing. But if I come back on at like 10 o'clock Eastern time, so that's like 9 o'clock Central, uh 9:30 where you are, Daniel, and like around noon for other people on the east coast of Australia. It's not good for people in Europe. This stream doesn't do that well because of, I mean, you want to start a yeah, you could hey man, you could sell them on the side, you could sell them at like a flea market or something. Maybe you go to like Jackson or something like that, and there might be a flea market. People will see a banana, especially this time of year, man. If you have a bunch of Musa Basju, people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's cool. This will survive if I do this." I would totally do that. But would you guys want me to come on later? I usually don't because I'm like knee deep in like some video I'm binge watching, but I don't really have any videos I'm watching. Yeah, Gus, okay. I'll see what I can do. Anytime's good. Gus, I actually tried. I realized what you have to do in order to get on the Hell's Kitchen is you got to know someone at Fox, and that's how they have a waiting list. But the waiting list is almost like, uh, what's that? Get one what? Oh, yeah, the waiting list. You kind of have to know like a Fox associate that Yeah, Simon, I know you'll be asleep. I don't blame you. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do this with this in my hand. But yeah, I should check out Rounders when you have a chance. It's a good show, a good movie. It has Matt Damon, Edward Norton, John Malkovich in it. So I remember, like I said, I watched Rounders on a plane ride back from Oregon to, no, from Greece to, was it? God, I'm trying to remember which one it was. No, it was Oregon to Chicago, Portland to Chicago. All right, man. Yeah, Matt Demon. All right, I'll see if I'll post later on if I'm going live. That way I'll kind of give you guys a heads up. I have like those YouTube comment things. So for those of you who, oh, that's got a nice reflection of my gut there. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat. And hopefully I'll see you guys later. Let's see what Ashley and I are doing. She likes to play poker later on, and I have to just pretend like I'm not going to beat her. So we'll see what happens. All right. Oh, I'll message you guys on YouTube if I come on later. You should just look on your YouTube and you should look for like your subscriptions and who has commented. I think is the best way. So, all right, James, Simon, Chris, Zach, Daniel, Vietran, and James. I think